But health officials say we cannot lose sight of our personal health because throughout El Paso County, RSV and flu cases are on the rise. Take a look at this kitchen. You can see the ceiling falling to pieces. This is a very public area. You can see this shooting happened just in front of the El Paso County Courthouse. That man picked up a puppy from one of those playpens before racing up the stairs all the way to a mall service exit. You can't make this up. What appears to be a balloon or a plastic bag floating through this alley before catching on the fence. Here are all these houses on Preble Drive, and if you look, you can see it appears that the smoke might be getting just a little bit smaller. What would you say to people who believe that your speech on the House floor was racist? According to the Pew Research Center, 58% of teens scroll through the app TikTok daily, and 19% say they're on the app constantly. Nearly every single person in the courtroom today was emotional and tearing up as Riley's family and friends talked about her legacy. Today, Councilman Donaldson held a press conference on the steps of City Hall, and he also passed out printed out copies of email correspondence between himself and Mayor Yemi Mobolade. What was it like finding out about that after you've gone through this whole massive life event to know that you were about to enter into another one?
Now that was devastating.
And whenever she would come to visit, she would come to this violin shop to catch up with the owner and to buy things like violin strings.
And the energy is very high. We talked with some students who skipped class today just so they could be the first ones to ski down the mountain.
Seven months have taken their toll on both the survivors of Club Q and the place they once held sacred. Wooden stars and plastic plants sit next to wilted flowers on a pavement Ashton Gamblin says she never wants to set foot again.
It kind of felt like a paintball gun, and saw him and realized it was an actual gun.
She recalls key details in a night that quickly spiraled out of control.
I had nestled up with Daniel and covered myself in his blood because I was terrified he was going to come back and finish the job he started.
Ashton was pulled out of the club and put into an ambulance, only to find she was sharing it with the person who shot her.
They had pulled out another victim to put the shooter in my ambulance.
It was the second time she came face to face with them. Yet Monday, she looked the shooter in the eye once again to read her victim impact statement as the shooter was sentenced to life in prison.
Nothing will ever fix the pain and hurt I see in myself, my friends, and my family.
She read it again today with confidence and conviction, determined to regain her power and use her voice to define the rest of her story.
There's going to be a lot of healing. There's still going to be a lot of battles.
But Ashton hopes that the LGBTQ community can move forward with unity and that the Club Q shooter's sentencing will help them leave their pain in the past. If the drivers of El Paso County make you mad, they're not alone. In fact, there's over 33,000 people who have spent time policing the streets of Colorado Springs through social media for the last 2 years, all on this Facebook group.
Accidents, traffic reports, speed traps, anything around the city, really.
And the page, 719 Can't Drive No Rules Edition, is where I went to find out how some people here feel about the rollout of a new state law concerning expired tags.
I think people are trying to find the oldest tag they can. We've seen some 10, 11 years expired, and they're just driving around the city like nothing's going on at all.
Jason Rogers is one of the administrators of the page, and he says the group has just kept growing as members post pictures of instances when 719 can't drive.
We love having a wide range of everybody across the city. Everybody's welcome to join. It's real fun.
But the new fines for expired tags aren't as fun. Colorado residents are now legally required to register their cars within 60 days of purchase. Drivers who are late to register their vehicles will be fined $25 a month for every month that they're late, up to $100.
We're not ignoring it. We're issuing citations.
Colorado Springs Police says that in 2022 alone,
6,001 vehicle tag violations that were issued.
with more expected.
It's important for knowing if the vehicle is stolen or not, knowing if the license plate is stolen or not. Those are important.
You can call her crazy,
I'm not even using a pillow.
but Michelle Ruckler doesn't care.
And it says up to 35 degrees.
She's sleeping on this concrete each night until Christmas for a distinct reason.
People are going to say, you're so stupid. Why? It's important that people see what they go through, and this is nothing compared to what a homeless person goes through.
Michelle has dedicated her life to knowing people experiencing homelessness by name.
People see them as trash.
But Michelle sees humanity.
I'm scared. I know I'm going to be cold. I know I am. But it's going to remind me of all my friends that I've gotten close with, you know, the homeless. They did die. They froze to death.
So tonight, when she zips up this tent, she will be surrounded by buckets. Buckets she hopes the community will fill with socks, sleeping bags, gloves, and tents.
They want to come, but it's too cold for them to get out. I will come out personally and get it from them.
Their supplies, she says, are life-changing. And even though she's scared, she says these 4 nights are just a small taste of what her friends experiencing homelessness face.
I'm a rich homeless person if I have a tent and a sleeping bag.
She's tackling this challenge with spirit and hope that the city can rally behind them.
Good night.
Good morning, Colorado. I'm Annabelle Childers. Thanks for sticking with us. We're tracking new developments in the case against Penrose Funeral Home owners John and Carrie Holford. Both are now in custody at the El Paso County Jail, John having arrived here in Colorado Springs yesterday. With Kimberly Singler now in custody, her ex-husband and the father of the victims is speaking out. The father just identified his 2 children found dead by police as 9-year-old Ellie and 7-year-old Aiden Wentz. The House Minority Leader at the state capitol, Republican Mike Lynch, is stepping down. It follows a 2022 arrest that's only now coming to light. And you can feel that.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is I think you said earlier you stepped outside and you felt the heat of the sun.
Yeah.
You couldn't feel that yesterday.
And that wind just cut right through you yesterday.
And more bear news. A couple from Colorado got married this past week, and they got the full Colorado experience at their wedding with wild weather and wildlife. The Miss America competition has selected its first active duty service member as its winner, and she lives right here in Colorado Springs.
That's right.
A Southern Colorado couple is out thousands of dollars. They tell 13 Investigates that their attorney, the son of the most powerful elected leader in Pueblo, stole their money. A father and son trip to Washington is now turning into a father and son trip to jail. Now to Canada, where major evacuations are underway in British Columbia. In the Northwest Territories, more than 200 wildfires are burning. Yesterday was the kickoff for the 2023 Colorado State Fair in Pueblo, and KRDO was happy to be a part of it. Take a look.
Annabelle, dare you go outside at all today?
I don't want to.
You don't want to, but do you have to?
I do. Now, just parking my car and walking from the station parking lot inside, that was brutal.
You want to warm up, you might just think outside the box here, get a little taste of the tropics in Denver.
You wouldn't think you could, but the Denver Botanic Gardens is welcoming guests despite the cold to experience what they're calling a floral paradise. Chris, this is the weather you've been promising to us.
A little warmer, huh?
It is.
Yeah.
It's so nice. You can actually go outside and not feel like your skin's freezing.
You know, if you're considering those names, this is good news in my opinion.
Yeah, we need more Juliuses and
There you go.
Jadens and Cadens
Yeah,
and Bradens.
I like it.